presenting another Spring Stratomatic Football Association playoff game. And this one includes the 12-4 New Orleans Saints against the 10-6 Washington Redskins. We are in the round of 8, and we're getting ready to kick this one off. I don't know that much about New Orleans, but I will learn as we go. I have some notes on them, and also the Redskins. I do know about them. They had to win a game, a wild card round game, to get into this playoff game. And that's where they find themselves now at 10-6. They're coached by Keith Mowbray. And New Orleans is 12-4, and I'll get to their coach here in just a moment. So I'm going to open up the card image. They're just a couple of plays in, and we just kicked it off here just a moment ago. New Orleans has the ball at their own 32-yard line. And like I said, we're just a minute into this one. I reviewed some notes a little earlier to see who the skill position players are. And as you can see on the screen, well, we did just a moment ago. Oh, there's a sack on the third play from scrimmage, and there's a fumble. New Orleans does recover the ball and basically gets back to the line of scrimmage. So Tannehill was sacked on the play, lost 7 yards. This sack was by Robert Mathis for the Redskins. But Tannehill recovered the ball and was actually able to collect it and gain 7 yards, so he got back to the line of scrimmage. So a big break for the Saints early on. So Ryan Tannehill is their quarterback. And that is Mike Tolbert in the backfield, along with, I believe that's, yes, Matt Jones. Tolbert had a big year rushing. I was very surprised to see the amount of yards he was actually able to collect this season. The carries this year were split between Mike Tolbert, who's a fullback, and Spencer Ware, a running back. Tannehill threw for around 4,000 yards. He did have one 1,000-yard receiver, and that's DeAndre Hopkins, who is on the right of your screen. A.J. Green is the big-name receiver on this team. Obviously, Andre Hopkins is a fine receiver himself, but Hopkins was the only one to get 1,000 yards for this team. There aren't very many 1,000-yard receivers actually in this league. And on third down, another sack. And this time it's Geno Atkins from his defensive tackle position comes up and makes the sack. So 2 sacks on the first possession for New Orleans. And the Redskins will get possession and will have excellent field position. Following that 44-yard punt, Marcus Murphy was then able to get a yard on the play. So the Redskins will take over for their first possession on their own 36. They have the superstar Julio Jones as a wideout. Here comes LeGarrette Blount on the first run, and he will pick up 4 up the gut. And that'll bring up second down. Rivers threw for around 4,000 yards this year as well. His big running back in the backfield is D'Angelo Williams. That's your halfback. Carlos Williams to your right. That is your fullback. He is a limited carry fullback, but he has some excellent short game potential when guessed wrong. Although the last game he was very much held in check. And here comes a quick pass for 4 yards. Rivers to tight end Martellus Bennett. So they go with Rivers at quarterback, Martellus Bennett at tight end. That is Julio Jones and Ruben Randall as your wideouts. And again, in your backfield, that's LeGarrette Blount. And that's Carlos Williams. And they also have D'Angelo Williams as well. So they rotate carries. Here's an off-tackle run to LeGarrette Blount. No linebackers in the area. And LeGarrette Blount is able to run for 5 and get a first down. Saints gets pass on that play, and the Redskins have their first down at their own 49. Second round SSFA playoff. The Redskins 10-6 won their wild card game and now have the right to face the New Orleans Saints, who's 12-4. This is Rivers. Back to pass, he's throwing deep, and it is picked off. That pass to Martellus Bennett is intercepted by all-world linebacker Khalil Mack. And the Saints will take over at their own 21. So Keith decides to check him deep, but Khalil Mack is able to make the play. And the ball is turned over. Tannehill is going to return the favor and launch it deep, but that pass also falls incomplete. And he also was looking for his tight end, Zach Ertz. So on second down, here comes Mike Tolbert. Tolbert rumbles up the middle for a gain of 4, setting up a 3rd and 6. Third and 6. Let's see if they decide to go flat pass. Linebackers of 4, 6, and 5. Ertz is being guarded by a 4. Hopkins is being guarded by a 4. So let's see. Lots of options here. Here comes a flat pass over to A.J. Green. He picks up 5, but cannot go any further. So 4th and 1. Washington again holds serve. And New Orleans will punt the ball to Washington. Marcus Murphy this time calls fair catch. So excellent job so far by Washington as they forced 2 punts early. So they'll take over, but this time much deeper in their own territory at the 16-yard line. Here comes an off-tackle run to D'Angelo Williams. There's a linebacker in the zone, but it's guessed wrong. But he's only able to pick up 2 on the play. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Redskins. Here comes a curl pattern. This one to Julio Jones. There's 3 in the zone. It's guessed correctly. 4 in the zone. Oh, he was double teamed. I see. Oh, I missed that part. Okay. So that put 4 in the zone. The pass falls incomplete. As you can see on the right, Julio does have some double team chances on 4, 5, and 9. So all is not lost when you throw to Julio, even if he's double teamed. But that's only reserved for the superstar receivers, of whom Julio is. So on 3rd down, Rivers is in the shotgun, 3 wide. Here comes a screen pass to D'Angelo Williams. Guessed correctly. Williams will get 7 yards, but he stopped 1 yard short. And Keith Mowbray will punt. Wise thing to do from his own 25-yard line. Here comes the punt. It's 48 yards. And this is Jeremy Ross on the return, and he throws up the right hand. And it's a fair catch. So back and forth we go. Both teams exchanging punts. 6:36 in the first quarter. New Orleans and Washington. No score. And there comes a quick pass to DeAndre Hopkins, but it only picks up 3. And that brings up 2nd down and 7. Here comes an off-tackle run to Tolbert. Washington throws out short yardage, but he's still on his own card is able to pick up 6 yards. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. New Orleans in the pro set. Here comes a quick pass Over to A.J. Green, and he's able to haul it in, 6 yards. New Orleans has a first down. So they're nearing midfield on this drive. See if they can put a few first downs together. They've been unable to do so. Neither team has been able to move the ball here early in the first quarter. Here comes an off-tackle run to Tolbert, and he will pick up 6 on the play. I don't have the exact number, but Tolbert rushed for 800 yards for the Saints this season. Back to Tolbert. And on his own card, he picks up that 6 once again, and another first down for the Saints, as now he has crossed into Redskins territory. He's gone to him twice. How about a third run in a row for Mike Tolbert? This time he picks up only 3 yards.
Hey, Michael. I checked. Mike Tolbert's ran for 972 yards this year for the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I knew there was a couple of running backs that had 800 and 900 yards for these teams. This is Dennis Crowley, who's come to join us.
Just for a little while. Yeah, this is your broadcast, but
oh no, I'm glad that you came in. Thanks so much for coming. I don't know how much of this you've seen, but basically it was just back and forth. The teams have exchanged 2 sets of punts.
One thing I would say, Michael, is there's a button here somewhere you can push that where you say present to everyone. That way the screen only stays on you. So something that if you're able to see that at the top, somewhere around that control bar, try to put that on.
I think you want to click on your own window in the bottom right corner, Michael. Okay,
so I need to push the YouTube section of that, right? Because I'm basically just staring at the game screen.
Right. So you need to like alt tab over to the YouTube. You'll see your name at the bottom.
Okay.
It'll say Michael, and then you just click on that little arrow there, right here at the corner. This one in the corner.
Yes.
Click that and say present to everyone. Actually, it's at the very top of your screen. Present to everyone.
Oh.
You see it?
No, I think he's. I thought.
That's
Okay.
it. Perfect.
And he should lock his own picture as well.
Did that make sense?
Yep, you're good. Go ahead. Back to the play-by-play. We missed a short game there.
Yeah. Let's see. Where are we here? Okay. All right. So New Orleans has marched all the way down to the Redskins 9. So now we're getting ready to see what probably is going to be the first score of the game. Here comes a short pass. This one going to A.J. Green. It's guessed wrong, and this one is going to be the first score of the game. Touchdown for A.J. Green. So nice drive put together. New Orleans on their 3rd possession. Rolls through. Puts up 6. Going to tack on the extra point here. And it'll give them an early, well, let's don't take anything for granted. Well, no, it's going to, nothing to take for granted here. It's all good. Hey, 7-0. Saints take the early lead. As we're winding down the first quarter, we missed a little bit of animation there, but it looks like it was a touchback. So the Redskins will take over at their 20-yard line. And here comes a run for Carlos Williams. It's guessed correctly. However, it's on the defensive card, and because they have such a strong center at a 5 rating, Carlos Williams will pick up 10. Nice call by the Saints. They did guess run, but on this time, he got the block, and Carlos gets the Redskins a first down, ball at their own 30. And there goes another run, this time for Carlos Williams, and he's only able to pick up 1 on that play. And I wanted to give credit where credit is due. I'm sorry, I keep saying the New Orleans coach. That's Scott. Scott, congratulations to you in your 12-4 season, and congratulations as you put the first points on the board, and you have taken, at the end of the first quarter, a 7-0 lead over Keith. Keith's going to try to answer here. Here comes another run, this one to Carlos Williams, and as my good friend Tom Cook would say, the dreaded 5. So Carlos Williams is unable to pick up a yard, and now it's 3rd and 11 for Washington. So Rivers 3 wide. He's looking for Ruben Randall. If this play is only going to pick up 4, that's a dump off. To Carlos Williams. Only picks up 4, so the Redskins for the 3rd consecutive possession will have to punt. And it's a boomer. 61-yard kick. That goes further than 61 as it heads off into the end zone. So New Orleans will take over at their 20. They're up 7-0. So we've seen 6 possessions so far, and 5 have ended in punts. So Mike Tolbert on 1st down and 10, rambles for 6. And that brings up 2nd and 4. Here comes a square out to A.J. Green. No one's in the zone, so it's guessed wrong, and he picks up 9 and another 1st down for New Orleans. Back in the pro set. Here comes a quick out to Zach Ertz. There's a man in the zone. But on the white die 6 rule, Zach Ertz is able to pick up 11 yards and another 1st down. So Tannehill's got a rhythm going now. He is 10 of 11 for 77 yards and a touchdown. Here comes another pass to Ertz, and this one will pick up 7. So again, Tannehill looking very, very sharp early on, 11 for 12. Here comes a quick pass to Tolbert. It's going to pick up only 3 yards, but it's good enough for a 1st down. So now New Orleans is marching into Redskins territory, already up 7-0. 10:30 to play in the 2nd quarter. This is round 2 of the SSFA playoffs. So far, I believe we've only had 1 game played. I'll have to check the website, but Seattle was able to beat a very upstart and surprising Chicago Bears team. It was a close one, but Seattle will advance to the Final 4. Tannehill finally misses on a pass, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, back to Tolbert, but this time he stopped at the line for no gain, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. It's early, but Keith would like to get New Orleans off the field and take away any shot at putting more points on the board, and he does. That pass was incomplete to DeAndre Hopkins after a successful double team by Mowbray. Great job. Oh, and look at that punt. That punt drops dead at the 2-yard line. So a long way to go for Washington. And there's a pass across the middle that falls incomplete. Washington has had very limited possession of the ball in the first half, and Rivers has not been sharp. 3 for 6 for 15 yards. Here comes an off-tackle run to D'Angelo Williams. It's guessed wrong by the defense. No one in the zone, and D'Angelo's going to rumble for 9 yards, so that gives him a little bit of breathing room here and lots of options at 3rd and 1. Two tight end offense for Washington, and here comes a slant to Martellus Bennett. It's guessed right. There's 3 men in the zone. And a nice roll and a good call, and that'll pick up 13 yards for Martellus Bennett, tight end, and that will be a first down for the Redskins. Once again, two tight end offense. And once again, here comes a post to Martellus Bennett. It's a post pattern. There is 1 man in the zone. It's guessed right. But he rolls correctly, a long gain, and Martellus Bennett is going to haul this in for a big one, 41 yards. Not very many long pass chances, guessed right. But he dialed up those box double twos, and 4 will get you 41. So that puts the ball nearly at midfield for the Redskins. Just a few plays ago, they were staring at disaster at their own 2. This pass is guessed correctly. However, Julio Jones hauls it in and grabs another 18 yards and another first down. He's being guarded by a 5 on a defender X rating. The white die came up 6. So another first down for Atlanta as Rivers is starting to heat up. Here comes a slant pass to Martellus Bennett. It's guessed right. Here comes a dump-off pass, but the pass falls incomplete. Rivers feeling the pressure. Tossed it to Randall, but was unable to make the catch. So 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 33. They're on the cusp of field goal range, but Keith and the Redskins want more. 6 minutes to go here in the first half of this second round SSFA playoff game. D'Angelo Williams, the dreaded 5, and 5 will get you nothing. So on that off-tackle run, Williams is hauled down at the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Redskins. They're going to run a draw play to LeGarrette Blount. And it picks up 7, so they're a little closer for a field goal, and this would be Mike Nugent. And Nugent's going to put this one through the upright. So the Redskins are on the board. So Keith wanted points, and he got points. He will settle for 3, and now he's only trailing by 4 to Scott and his New Orleans Saints, again, who finished the regular season 12-4. The Redskins finished 10-6. Had to win a wild card game to get here. Here's an off-tackle run to Mike Tolbert. The Redskins get short yardage. Throw out short yardage, and Tolbert only picks up 2 with a linebacker in the zone. Having said that, white die 6 comes up, and the offensive guard was not able to make the block. So 2nd down, this one's guessed wrong. And again, Tolbert, but this time the dreaded 5, but this time he does manage to pick up a yard, but only a yard. And that brings up 3rd down for the Saints. Ball at their own 23, 3 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. A lot riding on this play. Can New Orleans extend this drive, or are the Redskins going to get the ball back in what would seem to be halfway decent field position and maybe have a shot to put some points on the board? So it appears we might be locked up. Let's see if they drop. Yep, looks like they've dropped. So the game is frozen. So we'll jump right back into it here. Let's let these guys put the game back in play. Oh, the things we Stratomatic fans put up with, right? We love this game. We just hate the servers. Okay, we're back at action. So New Orleans will put a 3-wide set. That's Robert Woods, A.J. Green, and DeAndre Hopkins. Washington will counter with a 3-3-5. I'm sorry, actually, they're going to go with a 3-4, and that is a fumbled snap. That is a fumbled snap by Tannehill. That's his second fumble of the first half, but he's able to get his own fumble. He's only been able to pick up 2, so they do avert disaster, but they do not get the first down. And the Redskins are going to get the ball back in pretty decent field position depending on this punt return. This, once again, is Marcus Murphy. And Marcus Murphy will pick up a few yards. He'll pick up 9. And the Redskins do have good field position. They have the ball at their 36. All 3 timeouts left for Keith. 2:06 remaining. And all 3 timeouts. So he will stay, however, in the 2 tight end. That's Martellus Bennett, who's had a good first half. And they're going to go deep to him again. But this pass is going to fall incomplete. And that'll bring up second down. That was on the defensive card. There's nothing to be had at a 5. Rivers has been boom or bust in this first half. He's 6 of 11. He has thrown 1 interception on a long pass early to Martellus Bennett that was intercepted. There's a run to D'Angelo Williams, but it doesn't pick up anything. And that'll bring up third down. And 10.
It's tough to run with that set, but D'Angelo Williams has a really nice card. I wouldn't be surprised to see him break a few loose in the second half.
Yeah, I think he's got to keep going to it. Don't be frustrated that it hasn't picked up so far. We'll see if he stays with it. He certainly did in the last game. He had no problem running Carlos Williams, even though he had a very pedestrian game. Third down and 10. Oh, look at that. And he picked up 10 yards.
Yeah, the Scott was double teaming with the middle linebacker, but the left flat zone was wide open, which made that a guessed wrong on the quarterback's card.
Correct. Nice call. And that'll extend the drive. So early on, Martellus Bennett has been the favorite target for Phillip Rivers. He has 4 catches, 52 yards. So with the ball at their own 46, they do have 2 timeouts remaining and 1:22 on the clock. Let's see what Keith can come up with. Well, they go back to the pro set.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say a sneaky formation might be a 2 tight end set with Carlos Williams as a fullback because you can go long to him and he'd be covered by a 4. Right now he's covered by a 5, but still an interesting call.
Sure. Oh,
We're not getting much help on his receiver card.
no. No. Nice call nonetheless. I like the idea.
Yeah, you want that defender X against the 4. That's the ideal spot, but
Sure.
he'd have to switch his formations up.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Redskins. Ball at their own 46. 1:15 remaining. And here comes a run to Carlos Williams, and Williams is going to break it. Williams is going to break it and go all the way to the Saints' 7-yard line.
Oh, my stars and garters. That one's for Tom.
Wow. How about, yes, that was. Drop a little nugget there. So on the 0 linebacker reading, the defensive end would have had to have been a 6 to be able to at least keep that to 11 yards. And instead, it winds up being a huge, huge gain of 47 yards.
It shows you what a weapon a guy like Carlos Williams is. A fullback that can actually go 47 yards is not very common in today's game.
I was counting the yards to figure out why that didn't stop him as his longest game, but I guess he had one that year. So here comes a short pass to D'Angelo Williams, but this pass will fall incomplete. So there's plenty of options here with a minute remaining. He does have 2 timeouts left. So runs clearly wouldn't be out of the question, but on 1st down, he decides to go short. The pass falls incomplete. Rivers is 7 of 14 for the first half for 81 yards. That's Williams and Williams in the backfield. This time, he's going to go sweeping right to Carlos Williams. It is guest run. There is one linebacker in that zone, and a nice call by Scott as Williams is hauled down in the backfield. He does not get out of bounds, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. Washington has 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, the defense called timeout on that one because they want a chance to get the ball back with some time on the clock after this play. Williams' longest run was for 41 yards last year, but it was a touchdown. So Carlos Williams gets the much desired dot on his card.
That's all right. That's exactly right. Thank you. I appreciate you looking that up. That'll bring up 3rd down. And as Dennis said, 2 timeouts for Washington, but they didn't need to call one. New Orleans decided to call timeout to preserve a little clock. So on 3rd down, he's going to look for his target, Martellus Bennett, and he's going to find him in the end zone for a touchdown. And the Redskins, late, put up 7 just before the end of the first half, and now have taken the lead of the New Orleans Saints 10-7. We haven't seen animation in this for kickoffs, and as with everything that we have seen so far, the ball winds up at the 20. So New Orleans does have 2 timeouts remaining, and they do have 2 deep weapons in A.J. Green and Hopkins. So
yeah, you know what I always say: big plays and turnovers tell the tale in a playoff game, and that touchdown was courtesy of a big play there. Carlos Williams, 47-yard run.
Yes, it was. Breaks are always welcome. So that first pass, I couldn't see exactly who was A.J. Green. Yeah, A.J. Green, 7 yards on the play. So 2nd down and 3, 30 seconds remaining. Again, 2 timeouts for New Orleans.
Tannehill, a blistering 13 of 16 so far, and no turnovers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and look at this. Look at this. DeAndre Hopkins. What did Dennis just say 2 seconds ago? Turnovers and big plays? Well, how big is that? 59-yard throw from Tannehill to Hopkins. And now, guess what? Looks like the Saints are in business. Certainly, they're going to enter this half with at least a tie, but they're looking for more, obviously. 22 seconds remaining. They do have a timeout.
That's why you call those timeouts when you're on defense, and the
Absolutely.
other guy's got a couple plays left before he has to make a decision.
That's right. One wonders if Washington would even have called a timeout there. This pass is intended for A.J. Green, who's guarded by a 6. He is not double-teamed.
Doesn't get out of bounds, so he'll have to hurry up. He got one more play to try to get in the end zone and then use and kick the field goal. Mm-hmm. a forgotten change to the voting out of penalties, because now you can go all the way up to 1 second left and not have to worry about missing out on your field goal chance due to an offensive penalty.
Mm-hmm. Here comes a slant to Ertz. It's guessed right. But Ertz is going to find his way into the end zone. Wow, boy, that did not take any time at all. And the Saints, who looked for certain to be down heading into the half, all of a sudden have come back into the lead, 14-10. Who would have thought with 37 seconds remaining that they could march on down the field? But again, a 59-yard pass to DeAndre Hopkins doesn't hurt. So
are you saying that the Saints have gone marching in?
I said that earlier, and I can't believe I said that. I know. How awful is that? That's very punny.
I like it.
Very punny. Well, I tell you what, for 27, 28 minutes, it was a nice battle back and forth, and we just saw fireworks in just the last minute and a half. These are two good coaches. They're two well-rounded teams, and even if one is 10-6 and 12-4, they're very evenly matched. I think this is going to be an excellent second half.
Yeah, we've seen our fair share of punts, but those last two drives before the halftime were very exciting. That's what we want to see as spectators in the playoffs. 2 touchdowns within 2:06. The final 2:06 of the half. That's pretty amazing.
I agree. I'll tell you, and as a broadcaster, I'm really happy to see it because this afternoon I played a summer sprint game against my good buddy Tom, and Lincoln County beat me 27-0. Nothing, zilch, 0. So it's good to see some points. I like to see how teams actually score them. That's nice.
I recall that game.
You resemble that remark.
So we got Tom here, who's going to be calling the other SSFA playoff game between Dan and Ed. And I'm just wondering how many viewers we're going to lose. It's like, we're like on Fox right now when they first started showing the NFL games. And
I think
CBS.
I don't think you're going to lose too many viewers. I mean, Ed's got a coach, so you're going to lose him and you're going to lose me. But this is a good game, and Michael's
really good game.
Michael's doing a real good job calling it as well.
Thank you.
It's nice for me. So the first time I'm able to watch a game that someone else is calling, you're like, while it's going on. You're normally, I'm either calling the game or I'm watching the broadcast. But this is my first time watching one live that someone's calling it. It's pretty nice.
Well, I'm a little nervous because the other two people have called a lot more games than me, but this is fun. So you guys critique away.
I know you're doing excellently, Michael. Just keep doing what you're doing.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to call this game, but I'm out here with my boys watching them swim. Watching one of them swim. The other one hasn't jumped in yet. So if it's okay, I'll chime in as I can. But there might be a time where I just have to go dark because I get so hot I'll have to jump in the pool myself. Celebrate.
And of course, Dennis, continuing the tradition. It seems as you were giving your analysis, and in the middle of your analysis is when Tannehill rolls the 4-long game.
Amazing.
But
the worst was that. The worst of it, you with Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, that was pretty.
You kept every time you jumped on, he hit a long gain, and like in the middle of call. It's funny.
So what are the stats right now? Tannehill's got to be like having a perfect quarterback rating with the half he's had.
Let's see what we got.
20-16 for 167. So he's completing 80% of his passes, 8.4 yards per attempt. That's a darn near perfect QB rating, 134.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good enough, Dennis. It's 158.3.
Yeah, I think it's You're right. He needs
to work. He needs to work on the ground game. He has 1 carry for no yards.
Well, that's an interesting point. We haven't seen any Tannehill end runs, so those might come into play later on.
Well, actually, it was more of a joke than an interesting point, but okay.
No, but seriously, that's a weapon. So we'll see. I'm not sure how many carries he has. I think he has at least 4. So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
Well, I will.
Michael, back to you as they get ready to start, and I'll be getting ready to the game. But I'm looking forward to the end of this one.
Okay.
Make sure you don't post the score or the victor. Just post the link so we can watch it. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, guys.
Okay, I stand corrected. In this set, Tannehill doesn't have any end runs. So he only has must runs, so he's not going to be using that weapon tonight.
Well, I tell you what, he hasn't been able to run, but he's had 2 fumbles, then he's been able to recover himself, which those are big, big plays. So, all right, well, the Redskins will take over first down at their own 20 in the SSFA second-round playoff game. The Redskins 10-6 heading into this game. The Saints 12-4. The Redskins are trailing 14-10. Redskins are coached by Keith Mowbray. They won a wild card game for the right to play the Saints. And Scott is the coach of the New Orleans Saints. What is Scott's last name, Dennis?
Scott Mueller, I think.
Okay. I've been calling him just Scott the whole time. It'd be nice if I knew his last name.
I'll double check that, but I believe that's right.
All right.
We have a couple of Scotts. There's a Scott Mueller and there's a Scott we have a David Scott and then we have another Scott. But yeah, Scott Mueller is the coach of the New Orleans Saints in this league.
Okay.
You kind of almost feel like this is a must score drive, even though there's really no such thing at this point. But Washington got that big. I'll go ahead and call this play.
All right. Well, that was a pass to Carlos Williams, and Williams is able to pick up the first down. Dennis, you were saying must.
Well, Washington got the momentum. They went down. They got a touchdown before the half to take the lead, but right away New Orleans comes back and retakes the lead, and you don't want to go 3 and out and give them the ball back. So you want to at least move the ball, get some first downs, and at least get a field goal to get yourself closer where you're within one score no matter what happens with the Saints on their next possession.
Mm-hmm. Well, early on, they're able to convert on a couple of first downs, and they're in good shape here. 2nd down and 3 after that D'Angelo 7-yard run by D'Angelo Williams. And here comes a screen pass to D'Angelo. It is guessed right, but that's what is that? The white die 6 rule, correct?
Correct, yeah, white die 6.
So D'Angelo will pick up 9 on the play, and there will be another first down. And again, the Redskins find themselves in Saints territory at the 48.
He keeps hammering those outside flats, and there's only one man in the zone.
And indeed he does. That's Julian Thomas. And he picks up 5, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5, ball at the 43. So Rivers' numbers steadily improving, 12 for 19, 121 yards. He has a touchdown, and he also has an interception on an early bomb attempt to Martellus Bennett, who has been his favorite target throughout the first half. And once again, he's going to go Martellus Bennett. This one is a slant, but there's 2 men in the zone. On this one, he kept both of his linebackers at bay. It is guessed right, and Martellus Bennett is not able to haul in that catch.
3rd down with containment. This will be an interesting call.
That's right. Let's see who it comes out with. That's D'Angelo. Let's see if he throws for another flat again. See if he picks on that left linebacker once again. But that right linebacker's a 4, so he could go in any direction here. Does he move that free safety and put 2 in his own? There's a lot of options. And they're going to try a draw play. This is D'Angelo.
Oh, the center makes the block again.
He sure does. That's the 2nd time in the game he's come up with that roll.
And that was, he's in a 3 wide set. So Rodney Hudson's run rating gets reduced from a 5 to a 4, but the white die was a 4. So what a roll, what a pickup for Keith and those Redskins.
That's absolutely right. So the drive continues. The Saints have the ball at Washington has the ball now at the New Orleans 33. Washington is trailing. The New Orleans Saints 14-10. So that pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, D'Angelo was being doubled then, so 2 men in the zone. Mm-hmm. Good call there by Scott.
Really good call. Nice intuition on that play. So 2nd and 10.
I know Williams only has like 10 yards on 5 carries today, but this is when you want to run him in these when you're in your base formation. You don't want to give up on the run.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, getting a dump off is nice too.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. And once again, he finds – was that Carlos?
Well, he was looking for Randall, and then he dumped it off to D'Angelo Williams. So
It was D'Angelo.
10-yard pickup on the white, the dump off 0-man end zone.
Mm-hmm. So breaks are always welcome. Here comes a slant pass. This one's headed to Julius Thomas, and once again, nice call by Scotty. Double teams.
Double teamed him with a linebacker, so even when it's a receiver rating, it's only on the receiver guessed right. So there was really no impact on that play with that result. If it would have been on a 4 or a 7, it would have been automatically incomplete, or 2.
The defender reading, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
So 2nd and 10 here. I got to keep harping on. I want to see D'Angelo carrying the ball. Let's give that guy the ball. 15 carries left. And I would do it without Carlos Williams in the game, because Carlos Williams means, hey, I'm more likely to call run. I want to see D'Angelo running guessed wrong and see what he can do on his card.
Nothing wrong with throwing the football, Dennis.
I tell you, from this pro set formation, he's been more inclined to run.
See, but you bring in Carlos, then you're telling the guy, "Hey, I'm going to run it," and so he calls run.
Yep, but
it's 9. Sometimes players make plays. Don't worry about us coaches. Let the ball to the players. Let them do their thing.
That's enough, John Gruden. Let him play, right?
Yeah, that was another 4-rated blocker making the play. Martellus Bennett did it that time.
Mm-hmm. So now we got 3rd and 1, and here comes a pass to Martellus Bennett, but with 2 men in the zone, the pass falls incomplete. Let's see. No, he's not even going to think about it.
I know. You know what I would do.
Exactly.
But no, this is a smart move. You want to get the points on the board because, like I said, no matter what happens on the Saints' next possession,
your score down.
You're within one single score.
Oh, I totally agree. That's 100% great call. And nicely done to come out of the second half. You could be out of that first half, be kind of, deflating to know that you were going to go into the half with the lead, and the Saints roll down the field in only 37 seconds and hang 7 on you, and you wind up in the lead, and now you're behind at the half. But to come out and get that field goal on their first drive, and a strong drive, and it took up a lot of time, actually, 7 minutes. So well done, Keith.
Double teamed by a linebacker, but it was just guessed right. So 7-yard pickup there, 2nd and 3. Now we see both teams. It's interesting. Both these teams like to use a pro set because they have fullbacks that can run. Tolbert can run, and so can Carlos Williams.
Mm-hmm. Spencer Ware was one of those 2 running backs I was saying earlier that had 800 or 900 yards. I don't think Ware has even had a single carry this game.
That means he has plenty of carries for the second half. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we may see a steady diet. So 1st and 10 for the Saints. And that is a flare pass, and that goes to Tolbert, and he's going to pick up 16 yards. So the Saints already at their own 46-yard line.
So you can see the kind of pressure this offense puts on you with Spencer Ware. Look at there's a 20-yard gain right up the gut.
Wow.
You got Spencer Ware to worry about. You got Tannehill's flash. You got Mike Tolbert's short gains on off tackle. So there's like no respite here you got to make really good calls to stop this offense.
That's correct. Here comes another run to Ware, but this time he only picks up 3 on the play. If you're asking, what are you saving Spencer Ware for? This is what you're saving him for.
Yeah, but again, I would like to see, Tolbert's a pretty decent receiver, but I kind of would want to see that second tight end or a blocking back that can go deep to put, give you that pressure. If you call run, I might go over the top.
Mm-hmm. Here comes a quick pass, and that is completed for 9 yards, and this one goes to Mike Tolbert, and another first down for the Saints. So they are answering in a big fashion. They're trailing. They're only up by 1, but it looks like they're headed for a score here easily. Let's see if they can put 7 on the board. Here comes a run. This one to Spencer Ware. He picks up 5, and that brings up 2nd down at the 9. So the flat pass is out of order. So it's short or nothing as far as passes are concerned.
You feel great if you're Keith here, if you can somehow hold him to a field goal.
Absolutely. Off tackle run to Mike Tolbert. There's 2 linebackers there. Tolbert manages to pick up 3.
A great roll for Scott there, because look at the other negatives that could have happened.
Not much there. You're right. So 3rd and 2, they will keep the 2 running backs in the backfield. They will stay with the pro set. Outstanding wideouts in A.J. Green and DeAndre Hopkins. He's got Zach Ertz with only a 4 guarding him. So there are lots of options here. Keith has got to put his thinking cap on.
Yeah, and this is like kind of what Tom was saying. Scott's done a good job of rebuilding. He's kept his picks, traded off his veterans, and been able to draft guys like Hopkins and Ertz and Spencer Ware early in drafts to make sure that he has the offensive weapons he needs.
Mm-hmm. He has the weapons. There's no doubt about that. Did you have a chance to play him this year?
Which one, Scott? I did not.
Yes.
I did not play New Orleans this year. I don't think. Let me double check that.
He hung 49 on me.
Nice. Like I said, that offense puts you under a lot of pressure. I played Washington and I lost to them 22-0, but I have not played New Orleans this year.
I don't know how I was able to beat Washington, but that was one of those early wins that didn't quite make any sense. We were just, I guess everybody was getting their sea legs, basically. It's taking a long time for this call. Are they stuck?
He's checking on Tolbert because one of them said you can't run Tolbert this half, but you can when you're inside the 10. So
I see.
Yeah, you can run him. When the guy has between 50 and 99 carries, you can run him unlimited in one half. Then you can run him anytime on 3rd or 4th down.
I see.
And then also anytime you're inside the opponent's 10.
I see.
So that was the confusion, and that's why there was a delay. Now it's funny when you have a discussion like that. When you're the opposing coach, you're thinking, "Man, does that mean he's really going to run Tolbert right here? Do I key Tolbert? Do I key Ware? What do I do? Is he going to throw short to Hopkins?" So it's a lot of things to consider, and those little conversations, just like in poker, they can be tells or they can be false tells.
Mm-hmm. I can't imagine him keying somebody here. Especially because you've got Tannehill who can run as well. Sure, he can go up the middle and get a few yards on a guess wrong.
Well, it is 2 yards, so I wouldn't necessarily say Tannehill, unless you're keying elsewhere, he's not a good shot to get those 2 yards. He can't end run, like we said earlier. So if you're going to run Tannehill, you're probably, you're looking at a straight run call. But Spencer Ware is very good guessed right. I'm not sure how good Tolbert is. Let me check real quick. Well, this is a key play, so you can see why they're taking their time. Tolbert is
decent.
Tolbert's really good on 2 yards line buck. He's 58%. He's green there on the ratings disc, 47% off tackle, and 50% end run. So Tolbert can go end run. Oh. That would be an interesting call. Ware is also very good, 58, 61, 38. So I'm guessing we're going to see a run here. There's still some confusion over this.
Yeah, I'm reading this now, basically.
Yeah, so you can send. Keith wasn't sure. He said he looked over the Constitution and didn't see it under running backs with carries, but applies to him as well. Yeah, you can. The way Ed does it is he kind of works his way down. So guys who have the 0 to 24 carries can only do these things, and then the guys with 25 to 49 carries can do everything that the other guys can do, plus these extra things.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be a little confusing, but Ed does a good job on trying to make it as clear as possible.
Well, and again, Scott's played in this league for several years, so he understands the rules that are associated with it.
And if it was just a regular season game that I happen to be watching, I might type something in, but Ed's very clear. He doesn't want spectators to type anything under any circumstances during the game.
Yes,
so let them figure it out themselves. But Scott's right, and I'm sure that Keith will see it after he reads it again.
It's just, there's so many leagues and there's so many different diverse rules to each one. And the more you get to play in each one of the leagues, it becomes second nature and you don't have to think about these kind of things. And I'm sure they're going to work things out.
Right. But you know what though? This is a good thing. If you ever have any questions like this, ask your opponent. It's better to be clear and understand what the implications are than it is for you to not say anything and then regret it later. Speak up. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. For just a moment I saw user dropped. Okay, I see. So it looks like okay. All right. So we've got a meeting of the minds here. I think everything is cool. So hopefully we'll get to a call here. I mean, New Orleans, Scott has already put out his offense, which again is the pro set. So we're just waiting for Keith. And there we go.
What do you think he's going to do here? I think he's going to run Tolbert.
I think he's going to run Tolbert. I agree. But I can't imagine him being keyed here.
No, I don't. Well,
what a gutsy call if he did, though.
He's not in a full house, so you have two options. So if you key one of them, you have a 50% chance of keying the right one, unless he switches this up and goes with a sneak. No, he goes for the pass. Touchdown.
Oh, it was guessed right, too. Wow, great call by Keith, but again.
That was a touchdown, wrong, right, or doubled. So
yep.
Nice roll there and nice call.
Nice call. Absolutely. Oh, 12, but it was good anyway. I mean, that could have been your chance, but the extra point is good. And as Dennis had said earlier, Washington is still only down a score. They are down 21-13, so that field goal was big on their first drive of the second half, and now Keith will take over at his own 20. He comes out in a 3-wide with LeGarrette Blount, part of the three-headed monster of Carlos Williams, D'Angelo Williams, and Blount. And here comes a quick pass over to Randall, but that's going to be a dump. And that's a pickup of 7. No, it's not a dump. I'm sorry. That was a white die 6 rule. And so Randall will pick up
the old white die 6.
Yeah. I keep confusing that and the dump.
That's all right. He keeps going to those outside flats. Let's see what happens here.
Well, that pass is going to fall incomplete. That was a white die 5 reading. And the linebacker in that zone was a 5, so he was able to make a play.
So if he would have gone the other way, that would have been a short gain. So you always kick yourself on those.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 3 here. Time to run D'Angelo. Set him free.
And
he called run.
He called run. Oh no. Okay, but he didn't move a linebacker there.
The tackle was only a 4, and it was a white die 5. So you got to punt. Can't be taking chances this early.
And there's your punt, 49 yards. I think it's Marcus Murphy back there. I think
we might be crashing, bud.
I think we're crashing again. Good grief.
Yeah.
Well, hop back in.
I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to jump in the pool with my kids. And
hey, all right.
I'm going to put this on mute. So,
all right, man.
Good luck to both coaches, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Enjoy it. Take care. So our game is locked up. And so I am going to make sure that we are still broadcasting here first, which we are. Good. All right. So we'll just jump right back in to this game. This is the second time, unfortunately, we've been locked up. No harm, no foul. So let's set the scene. Looks like New Orleans has started to move the ball, actually, and they have the ball at their own 48 as we have just started the fourth quarter of this SSFA second-round playoff game between the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Redskins. And on that play, Ryan Tannehill finds Mike Tolbert for a pickup of 13, and now the Saints find themselves in Redskins territory driving. And there's another first down on a pass from Tannehill. This time to A.J. Green. And just like that, the Saints find themselves at the 29-yard lines. Here comes a run for Spencer Ware, but it only picks up a yard. Spencer Ware so far 6 carries, 440 yards. But just having him in there makes you want to call run on defense just a little bit more. And there comes an end run to Spencer Ware, and he picks up 19 on the play. So look at that. 7 carries, 59 yards for Spencer Ware. And the Saints are now at the Redskins' 9-yard line. They're leading 21-13. The winner goes to the Final Four of the SSFA Championship. There's a run to Tolbert. It's guessed right, but he's able to pick up 4, and that brings up 2nd down and 5 for the Saints, who are leading 21-13. The Saints were 12-4 this season. The Redskins finished 10-6 and won their opening round playoff game, setting the stage for this second round tussle. That was a pass to Zach Ertz, and Keith correctly double-teamed Zach Ertz, and the pass falls incomplete. 3rd down, here comes another pass to Ertz, and this one is going to be caught for a touchdown. So Ryan Tannehill has found the end zone for the 4th time in this game. 25 of 30 for 257 and 4 touchdowns. And the Saints have pushed their lead to 2 scores. It's now 28-13. So the Redskins, who have been held to only 3 points in this second half, now find themselves down 2 touchdowns. This is a much touchdown drive. Here comes the pitch to D'Angelo Williams. It's guessed wrong, and there's no linebackers in that zone, and Williams will pick up 4 on the play, and that brings up 2nd down at the 24. Keith Mowbray, coach of the Washington Redskins, 10-6. Won a wild card game to get here. That was a 2nd down run. Again, D'Angelo Williams, he picks up 2, and that brings up 3rd and 4. Scott, 12-4 with these New Orleans Saints. And certainly in the conversation for the championship. That's a 3-yard run, and it picks up 1, and Keith is running out of options, so he's going to have to go for it here on 4th down at their own 29. Here comes a curl pass. It's guessed correctly to Julio Jones, and he's double-teamed, and the pass falls incomplete. Great call. Great call by Scott, who correctly double-teamed Julio Jones on a 4th and 1, and they will take over at the Redskins' 29. And with 8:42 to play in the 4th quarter, a score here would pretty much end it. Here comes a run to Spencer Ware, and he picks up 11 yards and a 1st down for New Orleans. That's 8 carries for 70 yards for Spencer Ware, and he has been the difference maker in this second half. Another run to Spencer Ware. This time he only picks up 2, and that'll bring up 2nd down at the Washington 16-yard lines. New Orleans driving. Any score here probably is going to put this one away. That's Spencer Ware. And on this play, he loses a yard. And now they come out in a 3-wide with Ware in the backfield. Redskins showing blitz on the play. They could use a sack here. Here comes a run to Spencer Ware. They're playing it safe, and Ware picks up 5 on the play. And that is Justin Tucker, who puts it through the uprights. And that will extend the lead 31-13 with 6 minutes to play. So the Redskins got to start looking way downfield at this point. Here comes a quick out to Martellus Bennett. It is guessed correctly. But with the white dice 6 rule, the linebacker, oh, it's some bad luck there. That was on the receiver card. It was guessed right. It has -5 attached to it, which That's a horrible break for the Redskins. They're off to a poor start here on this drive that has to get downfield and in a hurry. They do have all 3 of their timeouts left. And here comes what should be in a series of long passes. This is to Ruben Randall. It winds up being a dump-off pass, and they do pick up 13 on the play. That was LeGarrette Blount. And that brings up 3rd and 2. 4:48 remaining, second-round playoff game. New Orleans Saints are leading the Washington Redskins 31-13. The winner goes to the Final Four. And here comes a run to LeGarrette Blount. He picks up 7, and that is a first down for the Redskins. Not a lot of time left. Here comes a fly to Julio Jones. It is guessed right. Rivers is flushed out of the pocket, and he will pick up 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 4. 3:36 remaining. The Skins trail New Orleans 31-13 in this Spring Stratomatic Football Association second-round playoff game. And here comes a deep pass to Brian Hartline, but the pass falls incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd down and 4. Time ticking away, 3:18 here in the 4th quarter. New Orleans Saints appear to be on their way to a Final Four berth in the SSFA playoffs. Here comes a quick out to Martellus Bennett. He's able to pick up 5, but he does not get out of bounds. No timeout called. He does manage to get a first down to extend the drive. Here comes a curl pass to Julio Jones. New Orleans is double teaming Julio Jones. The pass falls incomplete. 4 men in the zone. That brings up 2nd down. 2:24 remaining. Rivers inconsistent today, 17 out of 32 for only 151 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception early. And there is a dump-off pass. This one goes to Ruben Randall. He picks up 9. He does not get out of bounds in time, and he does not stop the clock. That brings up 3rd and 1. Redskins ball at their own 45, trailing by 18. Here comes an inside run to D'Angelo Williams. It's guessed wrong. But the dreaded 5 comes up. He does not pick up a yard. The yard that he needs, it's now 4th down and 1. The Redskins do call timeout. Ball at the Saints 45. Redskins have to convert this first down to have any chance. 3 wide set, D'Angelo in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Rivers a quick pass. Let's see if they find him. It's guessed right. And Bennett is able to make the play and is able to get out of bounds. Extending the drive, 1:45 remaining. Ball at the 42, first down for the Redskins, trailing 31-13 in this second round SSFA playoff matchup. So here comes a bomb to Ruben Randall, and they are double teaming Julio Jones, and the pass falls incomplete. Second down, 3 wide set. Julio Jones, Ruben Randall, Brian Hartline. Here comes a bomb to Brian Hartline. It is guessed right. There is 1 man in that zone. It is guessed right, and this is going to be another dump-off pass. This one is going to be completed, and a 6-yard gain, and he is able to get out of bounds. That was to Ruben Randall. So 3rd and 4 for the Redskins. Ruben Randall was quiet today, 3 catches for 22 yards. Here comes a fly. Deep pass to Julio Jones. There are 2 men in the zone. And it looks like another dump-off pass. And that pass is completed this time to D'Angelo Williams. He picks up 8, and that's another first down. Washington calls timeout to preserve the clock. 82 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Ball at the 28-yard line. Here comes a bomb to Brian Hartline. He is not double teamed. It is guessed right, and the pass is incomplete. Rivers 21 for 38, but at this point his numbers aren't going to look great because obviously the Saints are going to be calling pass every time and he has to throw downfield. But regardless, only 177 yards on the day. But I'm not sure it's so much what he didn't do as what New Orleans was able to do, and that is a fantastic performance by Ryan Tannehill with 4 touchdown passes, and in the second half they completely dominated the ground game. Here comes a pass to Hartline. It's 14 yards and a first down, but he does not get out of bounds. The Redskins, I believe, called a hurry-up offense. They will not call timeout there. So that leaves 1 minute to play. Ball at the Saints' 14-yard line. Redskins trying to put together a scoring drive. And maybe get a miracle onside kick. Here comes a short pass to Ruben Randall. It's guessed correctly, and the pass is incomplete. And I see what happened. So they did not do a hurry-up offense. That was a spiked ball on first down. The second play is an incomplete pass to Ruben Randall. Third down, again, 3 wide set. That's Hartline, Julio, and Ruben Randall. And here comes a screen to D'Angelo Williams. There is a linebacker in the zone. D'Angelo picks it up, but only gets 1 yard. He is able to get out of bounds. So now 4th down and 9. Will the Redskins just look to get 3 and just hope for the onside kick, or are they just going to go ahead and go for 7? I would assume. Oh, no, they are. They're just going to put some points on the board. So they're just going to hope for some magic and a couple of onside kicks because that's what it's going to take. So Mike Nugent from The Ohio State University and the Cincinnati Bengals puts it through, but the Saints do recover the onside kick. We didn't get the animation there. So Tannehill will take a knee. Washington will take a timeout. Tannehill will take one more knee, and this game is going to be history. So congratulations, Scott. You are going to the Final Four. Keith, congratulations to you on your wild card victory, and you finished the year 11-7. So congratulations to the Washington Redskins. Both these two are class coaches, good people. But New Orleans at 12-4, clearly among the cream of the crop, along with Seattle and Jacksonville in this league, and it appears New Orleans is headed for the Final Four, and we will get the pairings. They'll be on the website here soon. So let's look at some stats here before we get out. So as we mentioned earlier, clearly the player of the game, Ryan Tannehill, 25 of 30. He was phenomenal all afternoon. And it doesn't hurt when you've got Tolbert and Ware in the backfield and you're making the opposition call run and you put Tannehill wrong and he's going to punish you. And today, 4 touchdown passes. Granted, he got some good rolls, but in there he made some great calls. So 257 yards, 4 touchdowns for Ryan Tannehill. Rivers finishes 23 for 42 for 192 yards. He did throw 1 touchdown. He did throw 1 interception. D'Angelo Williams, 13 carries for 45 yards. Carlos Williams, 5 carries for 54 yards. LeGarrette Blount, 4 carries for 23 yards. Balanced running attack. But Spencer Ware clearly the story for New Orleans in the second half. He opened things up, 11 carries for 76 yards. In fact, at one point he was carrying for 10 yards a carry, except the last couple of carries, I believe he was stopped short. Mike Tolbert, 11 carries for 39 yards. Martellus Bennett was Phillip Rivers' favorite target, 8 catches for 64 yards. He did haul in their lone touchdown. A.J. Green, 11 catches for 91 yards. He had a touchdown. Zach Ertz, tight end, 5 catches, 53 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins with a big, long gain just before the end of the second quarter, and we'll discuss that in a moment. Again, 3 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. So if we look up at the box score, it took several possessions. Both teams exchanged punts in the first quarter, but on the Saints' third possession, they drove, and it culminated in a touchdown pass from Ryan Tannehill to A.J. Green, putting them up 7-0. Washington, again, the teams exchanged a few punts, but Washington was able to put a 43-yard field goal and 3 points on the board. And they were able to stop New Orleans again on their next possession. And after a long run, I believe it was 47 maybe or 50. It was close to a 50-yard run by Carlos Williams that put the ball deep in New Orleans territory. Phillip Rivers found Martellus Bennett for a 9-yard score that looked at the time that Washington was going to go into the half with a 10-7 lead. However, New Orleans called timeout, preserved some time on the clock, and then Tannehill found DeAngelo Hopkins for a long, long pass that went 59 yards, in fact. I'd say Carlos Williams' run was 47 yards. That was a 59-yard pass. And a couple of plays later, Tannehill finds Zach Ertz for his first touchdown. So Washington appeared to be headed for a lead and then found themselves down at the half, 14-13. To Keith's credit, he did come out and drive, but it stalled deep in New Orleans territory, and he had to settle for a field goal, but they were only trailing 14-13. Then suddenly you could tell the momentum was switching when Spencer Ware came into the game. He broke off several big runs, several short gains on his own card. And that led to 3 straight scores for New Orleans. First, a 6-yard pass from Ryan Tannehill to DeAndre Hopkins. And then early in the fourth quarter, Tannehill had his 4th touchdown pass on his second touchdown pass to Zach Ertz. And at that point, the momentum was quickly swinging in New Orleans' favor. They were able to tack on a field goal to make it 31-13. The Redskins added a late field goal, 31-16, but was unable to recover the onside kick. So that's where we find ourselves. Tannehill did have 2 fumbles in the first half, but he was able to recover both of them. So no harm, no foul there. It was a pretty clean game. Not very many turnovers. No one outstanding as far as sacks or fumble recoveries, anything like that. So that's pretty much it. Again, congratulations, Scott. You and your New Orleans Saints have punched your ticket for the Final Four of the SSFA playoffs. And again, Keith, congratulations to you. It was an excellent season, and you finished at 10-7. There's a couple more football playoff games that are being played in the next couple of games, and we will bring you the Final Four and obviously the SSFA championship very soon. Again, your final score in the SSFA 2017 second round playoff game. This is the New Orleans Saints 31, the Washington Redskins 16. Again, this is Michael Reeves. Thanks for listening, and we will see you soon.